involved in slave trading. The area which you are currently standing now is New York City Hall. This place and its events have been erased from history. New York City Hall was where slave businesses operated by New York City mayors. To begin, New York had a strong relationship with the slave South. Well-known families were involved in slave trade.
Nearly one-third of New York City's 400 merchants participated in the slave trade. Philip Livingston, an alderman of New York City and a signer of the United States Declaration of Independence, was a merchant who was mostly involved in the transatlantic trade. He also conducted trade with the West Indies, including importing enslaved Africans. New York City prospered in its control over the South's cotton trade. Because it made them wealthy, merchants and bankers favored slavery.
Some indirectly profited from the agricultural commodities, especially sugar and cotton, produced by the slave workers. William K. Mayer was elected mayor of New York City in 1845, 1848, and again in 1872. He was a business leader and a director of Merchants Exchange Bank. His political and business career was launched from his family's sugar refining business. Sugar was produced by slave laborers who were imported from the deep south of the Caribbean.
The leading booster of New York City's economic ties with the slave South was Fernando Woods. Woods was a strong supporter of slavery up in the South. He continued his support when he became mayor of New York City in 1861. Wood perceived the United States government as appearing to disappear. He decided to declare the city's own independence to continue trade with the South. Towards the end of the Civil War, Wood had returned to Congress where he had continued to campaign the Southern cause and oppose the anti-slavery amendment, the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, as a violation of private property rights. Basically, everyone knows that the United States in general wanted slavery to be abolished, but Woods, once he became mayor, he wanted slavery to continue, and he actually wanted to bring it up to the north because he got wealthy off of it.
Any have questions?
Come on, I know y'all got questions.
The chant?
Time to tell the truth. Our local history. New York was the land of slavery. Louder! Louder! Our local history. New York was the land of slavery. Time to tell the truth. Our local history. New York was the land of slavery.
Alright. We're gonna have to get out to the next stop. Let's go.
We all know what rules are, right? Some are good, some are bad. And some make us happy and some make us sad. We also have exciting rumors and depressing ones. But the New York State Revolt rumor meant executions.
So how did the rumor start? The rumor started when a 16-year-old named Mary Burton, who was a servant, was brought in for questioning after a man accused of robbery named Caesar was placed under arrest. For the police, getting information from her was the evidence at best. Mary Burton could be set free if she understood that the Houstons were selling stolen goods. She said that the accused came here and stood plotting a slave revolt, and they were going to burn the city, murder everyone, and seize power just because they could.
All the Irishmen and Spaniards and anyone considered a part of the Catholic faith were their disgrace. As the colonists thought they were coming to this place, engaged with enslaved African race with freedom to chase. Bukes and taverns supposedly was their base. 13 slaves were burned at the stake, 4 whites were killed, including a teacher named John Urey, while the rest were sent to the West Indies. The city smelled like burning flesh, and I'm sure the air was depressed. Thank the ones who lost their lives in bravery because New York was the land of slavery.
As the white man tried to put out the fire, the African Americans attacked these people. As a result, these African Americans received severe punishment. 8 African Americans were hanged alive, 4 were burnt alive, and 1 was starved to death. When they were burning these people, it was in public where everybody could see it. Little children, old people, you could smell the odors from miles away, and nobody did anything about it. The government only created stronger
just came off the boat. For auction off starting at $1 a bid, $1 $1, starting from the glass. This went down during the slave time when they were auctioning off on Wall Street.
Stay still, stay still.
Slaves are property, so you are buying them to buy anything else.
For the rest of their lives, they will work under these people.
Stay still. Hit him. Hit him.
All right.
Go ahead. Oh yeah. Okay. On my shoulder.
Alright, around 1833, Wall Street is where slaves came sold. So come right here. Instead of buying a soda, you buy a slave for like $1.25. Took a lawn, and that was the bad thing. So many people resented it. Like there's these two guys, Louis and Arthur Tappan, were brothers, and they tried so hard to abolish slavery, and basically it worked.
New York was named after James II, the Duke of York, who was a big shareholder in a company that monopolized slave trade in Britain. Many slaves were traded and auctioned here, and New York really lived and built off of slavery. Slaves' life expectancies were up to 37, and many laws were made for whites to regulate slaves, Native Americans, and blacks all alike.
Slaves are also sold at city.
Slaves were sold at Citibank, right there.
Did you guys know that? Citibank? Nah. No? Nah, you
They were just property, no homo.
Oh, but you want to get a water.
And the abolition building is 3 buildings down over there. That's where the anti-slavery people had their meeting.
Next stop is Lighthouse.
Lighthouse down here.
Right. There used to be a restaurant called Sweet's Restaurant. And what they did at the restaurant, the slave traders brought in the boats with the slaves here. They called themselves blackbirds, and their black human cargo they called them black ivory. In 1808, slave trade ended, but they kept it going. That's why they had the code names the blackbirds and black ivory. But they didn't end their slave trade till 1865 when slavery was ended and the end of the Civil War. Okay? Now here's the sketch.
We are all gathered here today at our monthly meetings at Sweets to discuss how we can import more black ivory. The issue of importing our precious black ivory has become more of a political standpoint here in New York City. Does anyone here have a suggestion about how we can import more precious goods?
Ooh, I have an idea.
Yes, Blackbird.
I say we no longer take the black ivory to Wall Street. Things are getting too risky. The cargo is getting harder to transport. I hear in the South, the black ivory can be more tame. How about we import the ivory here to the seaport at the first stop, then ship the cargo further back to South? That's a splendid idea, Blackbird. This way, we do not have to personally deal with the ivory ourselves. It is an easy way to make money. Woo! Hey! Thank you guys for coming. You are so awesome. You're welcome.
Okay, now I'm going to read an excerpt by Romano Equiano. He was a captain on the slave trade ship.
A little louder.
I now saw myself deprived of all chances of returning to my native country. Even the last glimpse of hope to gaining the shore. The closeness of the place and the heat of the climate added to the number of the ship, which was so crowded that each had scarcely room to turn to himself. It almost suffocated us. This produced conspicuous perspiration, so that air soon became unfit for respiration.